Hey guys, this is Hex, and in today's video for Elder Scrolls Online for Beginners, um, this will be part 2 of the crafting series, and which we will be focusing on blacksmithing. And as you can see, I have my blacksmithing skill selected right now. Much like enchanting or any other crafting you want to do, you want to start early. I cannot stress this enough. Don't be like me and be stupid about it and start too late, because right now I'm a veteran rank, and as you can see I'm only rank 8 on blacksmithing. I should be way higher. So don't do what I did. You want to start early. So first thing, you want to take a look at your passive abilities. First off, we have metalworking, and all that really means is the higher number that you have in metalworking, the more metals that they will allow you to use to craft, certain objects, like your shields or your chest armor or your swords or what have you. I only have 2 out of 10, which means I'm very limited to what I can use. Keen Eye, this is much like like how it is in enchanting. If I'm running around Tamriel and I have some points in this, I'll be able to see the ore a little bit better because it will be glowing. Even if you have no intention of ever crafting or blacksmithing or anything like that, it's always good to have, because you'll be able to see it glow, and that way you can go to it, collect it, and you'll be able to sell it for money. So either which way, it's a win-win. The minor hireling is good to have as well. As you can see there, it will send you or and possible other items, and possibly other items every day. So it's every 24 hours. So it's always good to have, which I need to really put some points into that as well. The metal extraction, don't really need to tell you what that is, because you can basically read what it says. And I'm not even going to bother even pronouncing this. It says reduces research time by 5% and allows the research of 2 items at once. That's another good one to have. I will be getting into research here in a couple of minutes, so bear with me on this. I don't have the rank for the temper expertise, so I'm going to ignore that for now. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead to the blacksmithing shop, and there should be 2. Oh Lord, it's packed. There should be 2 different stations, so I'm going to go ahead and go here and squeeze in here. Tap X to use, and what we're going to talk about first is refine. All refine is when you're finding your metal in its most basic state, which is the ore. You want to try to convert it into ingots, and the reason being is you'll be able to use the ingots to create your weapons and armor. Now, for every 10 that you get of any ore that you find, you can create some ingots, and you might possibly get other things as well, like dwarven oil or maybe some honing stones. Fortunately, I don't have 10 to show you, but if I did, you would just select it, tap X, and I think you hit square to go ahead and refine it. Okay, we're going to skip past creation. We're going to go to Deconstruct. And all Deconstruct is you're basically breaking down. You can break down weapons or your armor if you happen to have any on you. And basically get metal and other materials from it. So let's say I've got this maul right here that I want to break down. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is select it. So I'm going to tap X. And I'm going to go ahead and deconstruct it by tapping square. And there, as you can see in the top right, I get some materials out of that. I get iron ingot, and I get the thing that I can never pronounce right. Just make sure that whatever weapons and apparel that you're wanting to break down, make sure that's what you want to do. Because once it's gone, it's gone. Improvement, basically, it is what it says. You basically can improve your weapons or apparel if you have any. And in the case of this, let's say I'm going to improve, let's say, my steel sword, for example. Now if I go ahead and select it and tap X to add, I have a honing stone. I have a honing stone that I could use to make it from just plain old normal to fine. And I actually have quite a few honing stones. So as you notice, it says I have 46. I really need to get my eyes checked. But anyway, if you're using one, you notice that the chance is 20%. Now what 20% means is you have a 20% chance of succeeding to improving that. So, and then, so the more stones that you add, the better chance you have of just completely succeeding. So I've got 5 honing stones there. So now I have a 100% chance of it not breaking. So I've got it. So I've got the amount that I've selected. So and if you're wanting to know how you select it, just use your directional pad. Go left or right with it. And so now that I have everything selected, I'm going to go ahead and tap square to improve. And yes, I'm sure. And there you go. It's now transformed into fine. Now research basically means is taking either your armor or your weapons, and you're breaking it down to learn certain specific traits. If it's magical, for example. So as you can see on my mace, it has a one there, which means I have a magical item that I can research, and according to that, I can do the defending research. So if I go ahead and select that by going down to where it says defending and just tapping X to research, I can go ahead and research that trait. But the thing is, you got to be forewarned, is because once you hit X to research it again, it will destroy the item. And depending on the item or armor, the process will be different times. For example, this one will be 5 hours and 42 minutes. So I'm going to back out of this. So if I wanted to say try my sword, for example, and try to research that, which is infused, as you can see, it would be 11 hours and 24 minutes. And once you break it down and you find out how to do a particular thing, you can apply it to another object. So let's go into creation, for example, which you're probably like, it's about time. So let's say I'm wanting to create a particular weapon. Oh, and before I forget, when you're creating weapons or armor, you want to make sure you find a motif. Now, motifs are scattered to the 4 winds, and they're not particularly that easy to find. They're basically pages that tell you specifically how to craft certain styles, like a Khajiit style, or a Argonian style, or a Nord style. The second thing you want to have also is your style items. So example, I have like a Khajiit moonstone. I have a, obsidian for a Demner. But if you happen to not have any of these objects, you can always go to the blacksmith guy. He sells them. And it just so happens with all these right here that I have, these are all the motifs that I actually know, so I can actually use these items to craft particular weapons or armor. Trait this is where your research comes in. If I happen to be making, let's say, an iron maul. Yeah, where I've broken down an iron maul before and researched the powered property on it, I can actually apply it to whatever weapon I'm making. So let's say I'm going to go ahead and make this maul. So what you do is you highlight it, you select, use your directional pad to highlight, and then you use left or right to figure out which one you want to make. And then use or if you want to craft armor, just tap R1, but I'm going to go back and tap L1 just to go back to weapons. And figure out which kind of material you want to use. So in the case of this, I only have 2 to work with. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a steel ingot. I'm going to figure out which style I want to do. So I've got Nord, you know, I can craft in Nord, so I guess I'll go ahead and do that. And so I'm going to go ahead, and you don't have to select a trait, but I'm going to go ahead and select it anyway. And once you have everything selected, you just go ahead and you tap square. And there you go, you built it. And not only did you build it, you get a little bit of experience in your ranking. It's not much. It just, you know, the more powerful the objects you make, obviously, the more experience you're going to get to go into your ranking. So let's go ahead. I'm going to see if I can try to make some armor. I don't know if I have the research for that. I'm going to go ahead and use steel ingots again. And I want to go ahead and craft it, let's say, in orc style. Yeah, I have no traits on it. So I'm going to go ahead and tap square to craft again. And there you go. It's as simple as that. Now the cool part about this is if you're wanting jobs, like, you know, if they show you how to do jobs, like if you go up to the, I can't remember who the chick is, but there's supposed to be a black woman that teaches you how to do blacksmithing. You can actually go to this equipment crafting writs and get jobs. And with this, you know, of course, you can, whatever job you get, it will tell you specifically if the client wants you to make like swords or armor or whatever. And once you make that, it'll give you directions on where to go to take the stuff to, and you can actually get money out of that. And so it's all good. Money, gold in this world is always good. But anyway, that's all I wanted to show for today. Give me a thumbs up if you like this video. And please subscribe if you haven't already. And just leave a comment if you want. Doesn't matter whether it's negative or positive, you know, just give me some feedback. Tell me maybe something I can improve, or maybe something you want to see in the future. And I really want to thank you guys again for your support, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Take care.